Well, hello everyone. Marty Graceberg here, your host for the Joint Venture Success Summit. And here with me is Dr. Tony Pennells. And we're going to be talking about how to test your offer, irresistible offers, before you even ask joint ventures to promote it. And of course, we're going to be talking about some launch strategies as well. Really excited about this topic. So Dr. Tony, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Likewise, and I'm sure our listeners are as well. So before I get really excited about this, I really want us to share with our audience, what was it like? I mean, I want them to see what was it like before and after you start incorporating joint ventures into your marketing mix. I think I just want them to see or picture in themselves that, okay, this is what I get when I start incorporating this strategy.
I mean, that's a really good question, and it's not quite as black and white. So I'll tell you a little bit of the story that led us to here to help you get a bit of perspective. I'm first of all, I'm across in a little town called Perth. Well, it's called a capital city, but it's the most isolated capital city in the world, as far as I know. I think our next capital city to get to is about 3.5 hour plane ride. So, and I've got a mission. My mission is to change global financial literacy around the world. Okay, it's a very serious. I don't like where finances are at the moment. It's not a world I want our kids to inherit. I think we need to fundamentally change. So how the heck do you do that from the most isolated capital city in the world? Do you just try to do it yourself? Do you just try to build up, your own firepower to kind of do it? So to give you a little bit of my background, I'm a medical doctor by training. I've wanted my freedom like I wanted my next breath. When I was in my early 20s, I worked out the most precious thing you could ever do was buy your time back. And I wanted to live a life of my design, of my choosing. So I spent 20 years learning and mastering the art of creating financial freedom and financial independence. That resulted in, I built 6 different businesses. A number of them have been multi-7-figure turnover companies. My last company had 140 financial advisors across Australia. And that was all fantastic. And a couple of years ago, I had a heart bypass. I had a genetic aneurysm on one of my heart arteries, and I had a heart bypass. And that really opened up the question around, well, what do you do with the rest of your life? How do you make the time on the planet worthwhile? How do you make? It's not about money. It's about a cause. It's about making a meaningful difference. Mm-hmm. And what I worked out was, the lessons I'd learned. There were so many people struggling with the issue of money. Mm-hmm. How do we actually change it? Mm-hmm. And if I was going to change it, I wanted to change it on a world platform. Mm-hmm. So here I am sitting in Perth, going, how the heck do I do this? I've been reasonably successful in business, but nowhere on a global platform. Nowhere on a platform to get the biggest expression of your mission out there. And there was a couple of belief systems in business that weren't going to be healthy moving into this world. Mm-hmm. So I sat back a couple of years ago and said, I need to learn how to impact the world. Mm-hmm. I need to learn how to get a reach magnified far bigger than little old me ever could by myself. Mm-hmm. And so what I worked out was, this thing of the social platforms and the like was where the answers lay. The internet, social media was where the answers lay. Mm-hmm. But how do you get your influence up actually high enough? Mm-hmm. So the first thing I learned was, in fact, one of the guests on the call, in fact, you've got 2. You've got Rich German and Milana Lashinsky. I got some of their information. I'm sitting here across in Perth, never heard of them before. And I started looking at this thing called joint ventures and the like. And it started just resonating and going, well, this kind of makes sense, but how the heck do you actually do it? So I ended up taking my education very seriously. I started learning. I wanted to learn how to do joint ventures, but it wasn't just joint ventures. It was joint ventures into an online program with automation systems and a whole range of other steps you kind of needed to figure out along the way, right? And it was sort of 2 years of really intense and, to be honest, quite a lot of money invested as well. I invested well into the 6 figures to learn and master this craft. So world before, world after. I started what's called the Freedom Club, and it's soon to be rebranded MindShift.money when our global media platform launches in November. But we started that in June 2014. So we're just over 2 years into that journey. Along the way, I actually had my bypass, so it took me out for a while. Mm-hmm. So we started from a standing start, and getting to the point where we could do our first joint venture launch, mm-hmm. we had I think at the time we started our internal testing, we had about 800 people on our list. By the time we did our first joint venture launch, we were ready for that. I think we're around 3,000 on our list.
Wow.
The first launch, though, took us to 10,000. Okay. And not only that, it actually got us visible. There was a range of other things that came out of the back end from other media appearances. Obviously, it got clients coming in. It got us visible to a range of other joint venture partners. So often just realizing it's not one step, it's a stair-step approach. So we've now done, I think you'd call it 2 formal launches, JV launches. We've done a range of other things along the way. But the last launch we're just coming off the back of now, we had another 3,100 people come onto our list, specifically from business owners this time. Resulted so far, because we're still in a period of card open, card close, we've had 85 members come in. And so in the last, just on a week, we've added 100,000 in revenue annually to our business. Just so far. This is just a new program. This is off a seed launch. Remember, this program is being built. This is off a seed launch. So as we stand right now, we've added about 100,000 a year in revenue to our business of this current launch. And we've also met some phenomenal friends, and so at almost every level, learning how to do joint ventures has not only been powerful business-wise, but it's been unbelievably fulfilling. We've met some amazing people on some amazing journeys, and definitely a far better way to operate.